All right, Cliff, should we do this thing?
Yes, we should.
All right.
Hello there. Nate, the best chef at Scum Villainy Cantina. There he goes, ladies and gentlemen. We're not even live yet. It's cute. You guys are acting like we're live.
We're definitely live.
Oh, great, then we're live. Hello, I'm glad everybody knows that we're live because I'm glad I didn't say anything incriminating or spoiler-ish. Glad I didn't say anything that would have spoiled everything and everybody. So I am so glad to see everybody. It looks like we're live. Are we streaming directly out to all of our platforms right now?
All of our platforms.
Well, I can say hello, everybody. This is officially the start of the show. Is the opening title done?
Yes,
we're done.
It
we
is.
did the opening title, so here we are. We're live.
We're here. We're live.
You know, it might look different than my living room. Just looking around, and I'm thinking to myself, this is not Kansas anymore, is it? Really not in my living room anymore. Hello, everybody. As if you could not tell by the T-shirt that I was wearing with my Dia de los Muertos version of Han Solo and Princess Leia here, you must have realized from the background that we are now broadcasting on the OneRing.net for Torn Tuesday. Welcome to the show, everybody. It's Torn Tuesday, and we are broadcasting from Scum and Villainy Cantina. Welcome aboard, everybody. Can you believe it? Justin is in the background doing some kind of mischievous something or other. I have a miniature Sauron / Anatar, but this is Sauron in the opening prologue of the Fellowship of the Ring. Thank you, Funko Pop, which is just a couple of blocks down from us, the big old massive new Funko Pop store that I haven't even been into yet. I haven't even gone yet, but eventually. So welcome again to the OneRing.net. Ladies and gentlemen, you are here for our Tuesday live show being broadcast from Scum and Villainy, the galactic-themed nerd bar, the big nerd bar here in the heart of Hollywood. My name, as ever, your humble host, Clifford Broadway. Oh, wow, mischief. Did someone say mischief managed? There's all kinds of things happening in the background. We're going to have an exciting show while the hard-working staff of Scum and Villainy Cantina are going to be working, setting up for a very big night. It is St. Patrick's Day in a couple of days. We just had the Sir Patrick Stewart celebration on Saturday, past, about 3 or 4 nights ago. This past Saturday, we did the, not the St. Patrick's, but the Sir Patrick's Day celebration. We just did that here for all the fans of The Next Generation, Star Trek.
We're not here to talk Star Trek.
We're definitely here to talk about nerdy things.
Oh, my gosh.
And that includes the most... Did you know that? Like, not only do we have our birthday for Bilbo and Frodo, but now, every March, this new thing that has gained in nationwide popularity is the Sir Patrick's Day celebration just for Jean-Luc Picard.
I don't follow that according to my religion. But Cliff, it's so wonderful to be with you in person.
It's wonderful to be here with you in person.
For all the people that have joined us in the last few months, I'd say the last 2 years, we used to do our show every week here at Scum and Villainy Cantina, right on the Hollywood Boulevard.
Yes,
the
we did.
stars on the Walk of Fame.
Yes,
I can
we
see
did.
it. I can see it from here, right?
And right here on Hollywood Boulevard are a lot of Star Trek fans that would really appreciate what I just spoke about
They
for the
are
past
not.
3 minutes.
No.
This guy is not one of them. But anyways, welcome to the
There
One
are
Ring.
no Star Trek
Welcome to
characters
the
in front
One
of the
Ring.
Chinese theater.
Are you
There
kidding?
are no Star
There's
Trek
the
characters.
Enterprise. Wait, is the Enterprise in front of the Vista? The Vista Theater has the Enterprise.
In fact, Star Trek is so
the one
poorly
that, the one that
received
Quentin Tarantino
that
just
we have a friend
said he's
here
going to
that
reopen.
We have a friend here that just went to the Star Trek pop-up bar downtown LA, and it's pretty lame.
Oh, that's okay. I've got nothing to say about how lame the pop-up bar is. I'm just talking about how much we love Sir Pat Stewart. Thank you, Patrick Stewart. He is Gandalf's best friend.
We're not here to talk about...
Who is Ian McKellen's best friend?
Did you
if
see
we're
the
gonna talk
latest
about,
interview? Ian McKellen said he's tired of that relationship. He went on the record, and Ian McKellen said it was fun for a bit, but now it's just exhausting because everybody wants pictures of us too, and it's just like I've moved on a little bit.
Oh,
so
that means he's moved on from pop culture and its weird fixations.
Yeah,
that doesn't mean that they're still not best friends.
He's back on the stage.
Okay, well, I love Ian McKellen as much as he loves Patrick Stewart.
If we had more of a crew here and more camera angles, I could show you that there's a golem up in the corner.
Oh, do you want to see the new thing we got at the bar?
There is a Dobby above the door.
I'm going to show you folks at home what we got here at the bar.
I don't know what he's about to show us. So,
take a look at this. This was donated by a friend of ours who comes to Scum and Villainy.
Friend of the bar.
A friend of the bar.
Whoa, that's cool.
You need to have a little faith.
This is legit.
Justin.
Wait, hold on.
You need to have a little faith.
It's real metal.
This is a real license plate.
That's a real license plate.
This is a real license plate
in California.
Issued by the state of
Show
California.
the camera.
Ladies and gentlemen, when you're driving in your automobile and you need to have faith, you're going to Gondor, you know to just follow your license plate. The way that Gandalf says, when in doubt, follow your nose. To Gondor. This was a magnificent gift from our friend, donated to me, and I thought no better place in Hollywood to display it than Gollum, the Gollum you were just talking about. So we set this up for everybody to check it out.
Speaking of gifts, if you ever want to send anything to me and Cliff, you can send it to Scum and Villainy Cantina, Hollywood, California. That's all you need to know. It'll get here. So Scum and Villainy Cantina, it's all ages. You can bring your family, bring your kids. It's open every night, 6 to 2, and you can send stuff here. In fact, Cliff received some posters that I still not have received mine. So Cliff is hoarding like a dragon's gold.
Like a wicked dragon.
That's right.
Like a wicked dragon. I'm holding on to that poster. You know, it's a beautiful theatrical poster. And you know what? We need to get it.
Don't tell me about the poster. I already have it framed. I already have frames and everything.
Ready?
I just need the piece of paper.
Well, let's get it autographed.
You knew you were coming. Why didn't you bring my poster
Because
here?
I want to get it autographed by Peter Jackson first and then present it to you.
Peter Jackson is going to stay in New Zealand until he acquires the rights to Lord of the Rings from the Saul Zaentz Company.
Right.
Let's get this conversation started.
Let's get the conversation going.
A little update
welcome,
on
everybody.
what's
Welcome.
going on over in Saul Zaentz Middle-earth Enterprises world. So
you know,
they have put the rights to Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit up for sale.
It's on the table now for
It's
people
on
to
the
actually.
table.
I could ask my rich friends to come together and say, "Hey, rich friends," not that I really have any, but yes, I could ask them to come to the table and we could purchase the rights from Saul Zaentz Company. I smell a Kickstarter. Hey, fans, do you think that the fans should do like a Legion M and have like absolute fan ownership over the rights?
No, I
Wouldn't
think
that be
Peter
cool?
Jackson,
That'd
the
be
opening bid is $2 billion.
Oh, well, my very rich friends
You know,
are not that rich.
there are not a lot of people. Here's the thing. Not a lot of people in the world have the kind of cash to acquire the rights.
That's really the number that was offered first is $2 billion?
Yes.
My goodness.
That's the opening bid, $2 billion.
My gosh, that's a lot.
And we've narrowed it down to
My gosh.
3 potential bidders that we know of. Number one,
Let's
of
talk about
course,
this.
Jeff Bezos and Amazon Studios acquiring the film and Hobbit rights for all eternity. This isn't just a limited term. Saul Zaentz is selling for all eternity the filming rights to Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit books.
The rights that were sold by Professor Tolkien when he was alive.
To pay for his inheritance tax, so his kids wouldn't be burdened with a heavy tax.
So his children
because
would
that
not-
dude
yes.
made a lot of money in his
And
lifetime.
the inheritance tax would have destroyed anything for his children and grandchildren in that regard.
That's right.
This is intriguing. $2 billion used I used to be able to get a frozen pizza delivered on game night for that much, but now I can spend this much money and get the rights to the Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings.
Tukish in the chat room is a
Hi,
longtime staff member of thewondering.net. He says, for all eternity, I'm skeptical about that. Unfortunately, there's nothing to be skeptical about. In fact, Tolkien wrote his regrets that he was a little naive during these discussions of business, and he regretted selling for all perpetuity. Tolkien regretted selling the film rights in perpetuity. So that basically what's for sale now from the Saul Zaentz Middle-earth Company is for all time. What are you doing? Don't break it. Don't break it. Don't break it.
I'm not breaking anything.
So
I'm not breaking anything.
you're breaking it.
No, I'm
so
not. I just want to.
our number one person that we think will acquire the rights is Jeff Bezos because he did a deal for the appendices. Our number 2 person that we have on the spy report is Universal Studios.
This is speculation, ladies and gentlemen.
All speculation.
This is not being reported to you today as news, nor is it being reported to you as...
But we have spy reports all over the place.
Nor is it being reported to you as an enthusiastic kind of like advocacy. Not at all. It's just being reported to you as weird rumor. So take that as it comes, okay? Weird rumor, either...
Rumor number 1.
Amazon Studios might want to bid, or...
Rumor number 2.
Universal Studios might want to bid.
And Universal has come to the table with a very compelling offer to the Saul Zaentz Company. As you know, Universal does not really have a big franchise like Warner Brothers has DC Comics. Disney has everything else.
And isn't Universal putting a button on the Jurassic franchise? Are they kind of closing up the feature films? The marketing of the next film is claiming that it's the final chapter. Have you heard that?
No, I haven't. I haven't. I don't know what you're talking about.
All the marketing for the next Jurassic film is like, the story is closing. This is the final chapter.
I haven't seen it. I don't believe you.
Believe it.
It's don't
what
believe
their
you.
marketing is saying. So
I have not seen any marketing that
join
says
us
this
for
is
the it's kind of like the Hobbit third film,
I have not seen
where
that.
they said join us one last time. That's kind of like the marketing.
So would you
of
like
the
to
Jurassic
see
film.
Universal take the Lord of the Rings rights and build a theme park in Florida?
No, I'm not going to say I would like to see that. I will only admit to being incredibly ambivalent about that. Please,
Okay.
Who's the third option?
Number 3
Who's
is
the third option?
the country of New Zealand partners with Peter Jackson, who just made $1.6 billion selling Weta Digital.
That's right, he did.
So he is flush with cash. He's got almost all the money himself. Peter Jackson has 1.6 of the $2 billion. All he needs is the country of New Zealand to come in for another $400 million. And Peter Jackson and the country of New Zealand would own the rights in all perpetuity. And basically, the country of New Zealand would get to call itself Middle Earth for as long as it wants. And Peter Jackson would manage the business affairs, like licensing and future movies and other things.
Do you know what? This is a difficult concept, and it always has been for me, the idea of a massive amusement park around Tolkien's intellectual property. Now, we have to separate that this conversation is not about his literary legacy. We're now talking about the rights
that he sold during his lifetime.
That he sold. The rights to take
film
those characters and make film, television adaptations. Now, the Saul Zaentz Company would have been, for decades and decades and decades, they would have been the company that you contacted if you wanted to put on a school play with your high school, if you wanted to make, if you wanted to do, there was some college that did a ballet based on Baron and Luthien.
What about One Man Lord of the Rings?
Even the guy who did the One Man Lord of the Rings show. But again, as I was just saying, the classic Baron and Luthien story was choreographed into a beautiful ballet. But all those things would have to come from a permission, an agreement with Saul Zaentz to be able to do that. And the Saul Zaentz deal was what created ultimately the New Line Cinema Peter Jackson trilogy for The Lord of the Rings. It's all connected. But wow, to think that it's now going to pass.
It's going to pass
to another generation.
I think it'll pass
of
by
license
the
holders.
end. By the end of summer, by the end of the year, we will have a deal. We have a new owner of all things Lord of the Rings for all time.
Well, if Universal is lacking in intellectual properties, and if they're really not going to put the Jurassic Park property down.
I want to back up. You said you weren't looking forward to a theme park, but have you been to the Harry Potter experience at Universal Studios?
No, even though my father,
even
though my father worked on the construction team that built Platform 9 3/4 and a lot of other places there at the park. No, I have not been vacationing in Florida recently.
It's here in Hollywood. There's a Hogwarts castle
there is
right
one
here at Hollywood.
Yeah, but my dad worked on the Florida park, which has much bigger space. Now, hold on. Let's hold the phone. If there was a Universal deal, and Universal did get theme park rights extracted out of what was originally the Saul Zaentz movie and TV rights, I mean, if it even gets to that level, they're not going to build anything here in Southern California. They're going to use existing space. adjacent to their Orlando park in Orlando.
Right.
That's just saying. For the record, we understand this. But the speculation, to me, I think is problematic because I don't know that maybe Professor Tolkien was delighted that the BBC wanted to do radio adaptation, and that Uncle Forrest Ackerman from Famous Monsters went up to him and said, "Hey, we want to give you a script. We want to talk about these motion picture ideas." I think maybe Professor Tolkien was delighted with the idea of people doing film, radio, television adaptations, but I do not believe he would have seen the light. I don't think he would have appreciated the way that some of us in popular culture do, the whole theme park thing. I don't know if he would have been keen on that. Yeah, cheers. I don't know.
This is a black cherry soda. It's not a brew. I'm not drinking on camera. So, Cliff, why are we doing the show back at Scum Villainy Cantina? Because things are open. And speaking of things getting open, we just received word today that New Zealand is finally opening. Starting in May, tourism begins again to New Zealand, and fans are already booking red carpet tours. In fact, there was a question on our Facebook group today, Cliff. Someone was asking, is Red Carpet Tours a legit company? Like, can people trust Red Carpet Tours, or are they scammers?
No, Red Carpet Tours are awesome. They're very, very, very legit. I hope that they're still operating. I hope that they are still operating.
They're starting to book.
Anew. That's great news. You know what? Red Carpet Tours is phenomenal. They took all of us from theonering.net and a bunch of friends, a bunch of people we know, including other staff members from Torn, Nicole, who is Rasputin, the evil Balrog.
That's right.
We had so many great times on that magnificent South Island tour. We got all the way to Mount Sunday, which is where they built the capital of Rohan, Meduseld, the Golden Hall, in the Kingdom of Rohan. We went to the physical locations where Arwen would face down the Nazgul, crossing the river Eisen, where the flood of the river and the white horses in the foam came and swept the ring wraiths away.
Well, everyone in the chat room agrees with you. Chris says, "Heck yeah, Red Carpet Tours is awesome and still operating. I'm scheduled for July 2022 tour."
Well done, Chris.
Very good.
You're going to have the best time. They are such wonderful, wonderful people. And you know what? One of the most
who else should the people look out for in New Zealand to get the full experience?
Anybody who can take you to Queenstown. Anybody who can take you to the South Island and take you to Christchurch, and especially Queenstown. It's the most fantastic, breathtaking place to be. It's really wonderful.
Also, it's a little bit out of the way, but you have to go to Hobbiton because they've built a functional green dragon.
Oh, now that's on the North Island, and that's a totally different thing. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. But it looks out of the way. You might have to rent a car or hire a car, and it is out of the way. There's no easy way to get to Hobbiton. As well, it shouldn't
It's just
be easy.
outside the sleepy little farmland town of Matamata. That's where it's at. Matamata on the North Island of New Zealand.
Durin Deathless says, we actually had to cancel our trip to do my wife becoming pregnant. That is the best reason to postpone a trip.
Congratulations on the beautiful,
you've been a long-time follower. Great to see
baby.
You.
Well done. That's fabulous.
That's right.
You know what?
But here's the thing. You guys are going to New Zealand for some of these Lord of the Rings tours in July. Guess what? You know what else we know about New Zealand?
Very exciting. It really is.
We know that Amazon has moved production away from New Zealand to UK. There are a lot of people that are ready to talk to you. If you want to be spoiled, potentially be spoiled about the series that starts in September.
Now I see where you're going.
For those that are going to New Zealand in this summer or winter for them, oh my God, you might be able to hear all of the stories of filming the Second Age.
Ladies and gentlemen, I just realized that Justin is trying to recruit spies.
Whoa. We're getting a horse before the cart. If you end up going to New Zealand, please call into the show.
He's recruiting spies, and that means you might be one of our wonderful anonymous tipsters who finds out some delicious dirt somewhere on your journey through New Zealand/Middle-earth, and you could discreetly, very discreetly, email spymaster@theonering.net.
Or just slide into our DMs. Our DMs are open. Cliff, we keep people's secret.
I just want to slide right on into your DMs.
Have we kept some secrets over the years? You still haven't told me some of the spies that gave you reports. We know how to keep a secret is basically what I'm trying to tell you.
Nope. Keeping them secret and keeping them safe, keeping my mouth shut.
It's time to do some sneaking. Some sneaky sneak.
The worst you'll ever get is some wink, wink, nod, winky, maybe some suggestive comments, but I try not to be too suggestive. It is a G-rated show, but I will be, quietly and discreetly making little asides about what I might know or what I might not know, but I would never reveal and never tarnish.
All I know is
a trusted source.
There are
never
thousands of people in New Zealand that want to talk with fans so badly.
Oh
They're contacting us. Obviously, we can't post what we hear all the time because it would spoil their career. So there's a lot of stuff that we've heard that we can't even tell you yet. But if you end up in New Zealand and you want to file a spy report over something you heard over eggs and potatoes at a place in Auckland, in Western Auckland, near the hillsides of Western Auckland.
There he goes.
In fact, if you need a map of filming locations, we are happy to help you.
Oh, gosh.
Because Torn has GPS locations of certain things in certain places. So
that is
please,
so juicy.
If you need to know, we're happy to help. And information goes two ways, doesn't it?
Very funny. Yes, it does. Every relationship works in two ways. It's the two sides to the street. And we'll make sure that our side of the street is clean, and we'll make sure that yours is anonymous. If you do want to be a tipster and volunteer, that's great. I love that. To the question in the live chat, I want to say hello, first of all, to everybody on Facebook and Twitter, live spaces, and Instagram.
Twitch. We're everywhere.
Discord, and of course, YouTube. I want to say hi, Arne.
I'm not hunting spies. I am encouraging fans to give back to the community that have provided you so much entertainment and friendship and fellowship over the years. It's time for you to give back. If you were going to New Zealand this year, I'm just saying, our DMs are open.
The question was presented by one of our faithful audience members, and thank you for being with us, everybody. It's lovely to have you, as always. The question was, now that the production has moved to the UK, does that mean when they have their big premiere, their big season 1 splashy red carpet or maybe green carpet premiere, will it be in London? Or,
That's the question.
That is the question.
That's the question.
And that is completely unknown at this time, but could you safely speculate that they'll do multiple launches in major cities around the world? Isn't it very likely they'll do New York and London, as well as Los Angeles, and maybe even in Auckland. Who knows? They might do premieres all around the world.
I'm gonna
because they want it to be an international.
I don't think so.
International show.
I'm actually going to take the opposite thing because, as we've discussed on the show many times, Amazon has very, very narrow rights. They cannot theatrically present anything. The film theatrical rights are exclusively to the Saul Zaentz Company, which was New Line Cinema and Warner Brothers.
So if they have a TV show premiere, it can't be in a theater.
It can't be in a theater.
Oh, so that is like the limit of public display in a theater means it's theatrical, right?
That's the current understanding.
Okay, that's intriguing.
But, lawyers are going to lawyer, and they're going to figure it out. I'm sure that the Amazon lawyers, I'm sure Amazon wants to do premiere parties in every time zone. And I think the Amazon lawyers are going to earn their salary trying to figure out the rights so they can do that.
We're looking at Dragon Con and other fan conventions and big fan events.
That's right.
That might be more likely. Instead of them doing a big red carpet premiere, in Leicester Square, like they did for Lord of the Rings films, they might just be like, oh, it's the September 2nd weekend. It's Dragon Con. There's 1 million fans in Atlanta, Georgia. Let's have a big party and launch it there at the convention center or in a big hall or something like that.
That's right.
That might be that might be the more likely thing. Right.
The one caveat,
which I think is a cool idea.
As we button up the whole going to New Zealand thing, I just want to button this up. If you guys have been paying attention, the last 2 years, around December time, there's been a spike in our little coronavirus, right? And being an island nation, New Zealand has a zero tolerance policy. So, I don't know. In my personal opinion, I anticipate that we will get another variant spike around the world in November and December. And I predict that maybe New Zealand closes its borders around that time in December and January.
Right.
I'm just saying, based on the last 2 years of these, spikes, flatten the curve, as they say, right?
Yes.
New Zealand has a zero tolerance policy. That's why hardly anyone has died.
Yes.
It's one of the safest countries in the world.
Yeah.
And Amazon was lucky to film there for the last 2 years, and I'm shocked that they moved. But
I am still also shocked.
So it's
news
exciting.
As well.
But
yes.
Our own Cruisin' Kathy, you can find her on Twitter, books cruises to Middle Earth. You fly in to Australia, and then you take a big cruise boat over to New Zealand, and you have off days off the boat, and you visit some of the sites and stuff like that. So if you want to look for cruises to Middle Earth, I think she's got one booked for next January, either next January or next February. So look out for more information. The One Ring, I think, will be posting some of that stuff.
Yes, indeed. That'll be quite an interesting trip. I'm looking forward to...
Varking, what are you talking about? Why haven't I told you before? I forgot that you are new to the show. We've been doing this show for 10 years,
yes,
over 500 episodes.
Yes.
It's the longest relationship I've ever had with anybody in my life. And thank you.
Oh, boy.
Maybe
I have to stand in a legacy position now. I have to stand in the shadow of that now. Like, aside from your mom... Aside from his mom, I'm the person he's had the longest relationship. I love this guy. I've always loved this guy. And he's always been such a good guy, such a trooper, and always willing to do so much and go the extra mile for the OneRing.net. But my God, I feel so sorry for you that you just admitted that on this long. You know what, brother? In brotherhood, in camaraderie, you know what? Shall I get you a box?
Oh, my God.
Shall I get you a box? That's what I had to do the Legolas bit. I'm sorry, but I want to get him a box. But I love this guy. I'm the worst. I love you. And I love him enough that I can poke fun at him live on the air. Thank you. Oh, look, see, I'm looking for the laughter from the from the people in the chat. Welcome everybody in that chat. Tukish, you're fantastic. And
people want you to kiss the mic.
Where?
Because they can hear you better when you talk up here.
They want me to do this, but it's so loud in this room. But okay, yeah, you want me to eat the microphone, then I'll do that. Varking is also a wonderful new addition, Varking rune song. A big round of applause for him and to others who are helping us put the Discord channel together, and it's coming together so beautifully.
This Gandalf
really
cup,
good stuff.
This drink is for you, Varking.
Thank you, Varking, for being with us. Now, I wonder, I have to speculate for just a moment.
Yes, go ahead.
Before we go on to Green Dragon gossip and the final half of our show.
I have some stuff to tell you.
I know
you
do.
Go ahead.
I know you do. But before we get to the final half of our show, I want to consider if the theme park happens, if Universal Studios wins the war of bidding against Amazon Studios or any other interests, including perhaps Peter Jackson / New Zealand as an entity, and boy, that is an interesting concept to think of Peter in association with the nation, the entire island nation of New Zealand, taking the rights of Lord of the Rings. It's just such an interesting concept. But if we do get down the road And I'm going to be the ironic person who's first in line at that theme park, and everybody's going to be showing video clips from this broadcast today of me saying, well, I'm really ambivalent about it. You don't feel it. I don't think Tolkien would have liked it. Yeah, exactly. So the thing is, here's to this. The idea is I know that there's a popular energy and an audience that is craving something like what Hayao Miyazaki and Studio Ghibli is doing right now in Japan.
Wait, there's a Miyazaki?
They're making a nature park that includes some buildings and attractions and structures, but it's more like a nature park, not a theme park. But they are making it, and there's a lot of news about that. But imagine if somebody got really thoughtful about making a Middle-earth theme park be less like the modern-day theme park idea and something more like what Studio Ghibli and the team behind Miyazaki is doing, a nature park, something that encourages walking through the trees and the forests, even if those are, like man-made mountains in the distance. Like when you go to Cars Land in Disney's California Adventure, the mountains in the distance are completely fake, but they're so realistic.
Hey, don't break the illusion.
The illusion is so perfect. I'm telling you, it's so perfect. It creates a depth of field of vision that makes you think you are in the vast, vast desert Southwest. And it's remarkable what the Imagineering people did in terms of design and construction.
Oh my God.
So,
breaking news, Cliff.
Here it is. I'm just saying,
in the chat.
It would be really cool if even though Tolkien wouldn't like it, I'm sure, but a theme park that is nature-centered or centered on making it feel like you're out in this wilderness of Middle-earth instead of in a concrete, cement-paved theme park. You know what I'm getting at.
Well,
you know what I'm getting
news, at. Cliff, according to the chat room, Varking has just added this license plate to Gondor as an emoji in the Discord. If you join the discord.gg/the One Ring, or just search for the One Ring or Lord of the Rings on Discord, join our Discord server. You can use a To Gondor license plate emoji that joins Cliff's cat Mithrandir as an emoji. Cliff, you are now 2 emojis.
We got to do it. I got to bring more. I'm going to be the guy who brings the emojis to our Discord. You know what? That is fantastic. My friend who donated this license plate is going to be so thrilled. He's going to be over the moon. This is fantastic. That's really well done, Varking.
There's
Thank you.
So many emojis. Now, Cliff, I wanted to follow up on something you just said.
Yes, please.
I emotionally outburst when you started talking about Disneyland, and I'm like, don't break the experience.
All I can do is praise the illusion because that's part of why we go.
So
that's why we go to places like that, so that we can see the illusion and enjoy it.
There was a debate on our Discord this week, and I wanted to bring you into this, and I want your opinion.
Okay.
Should Amazon release behind-the-scenes videos after each episode, potentially breaking the world building, or should they wait months or weeks after the entire series is out or the first season's out?
I see the question. Well, there's a big difference between what I think they should do and what I know they will do. 2 different things.
Okay.
I think they should release all the behind-the-scenes stuff now, even before the show is televised. Lots of even don't.
But that would spoil the immersiveness as you were like.
Maybe.
Don't you want to just be in Middle Earth in the Second Age? Like, tell me the tricks way later.
Well, I got a feeling that they won't show anything until well after the season is complete. But I would like to see them show behind-the-scenes stuff way, way, way ahead of time. And some of the behind-the-scenes stuff can be very judiciously selected and curated in a way that it's not going to reveal or spoil too much.
Well, so
it can be done.
The reason I ask you this is because Amazon, with Wheel of Time, they released a behind-the-scenes feature every week after each episode.
Ah, yes, I'd heard about that.
Is that a good idea in your opinion, or do you want to keep the imagination and the immersiveness until we see the story play out?
I see what you're saying. You know, maybe you're right, and I see the wisdom. I do see the wisdom in what you're saying, that they should show that stuff, how about a couple of weeks after? Not just immediately 1 minute after the episode, but maybe a couple of weeks after. So that people can say, remember that? Remember what they did 3 weeks ago? Oh, wait till you see what they're going to do tonight. Dun, dun, dun. You know, it could be part of marketing. Yeah.
Here's my opinion.
But you know they're not going to show anything of behind the scenes, what we call BTS, until after the season is run. That's the way it's going to happen. If that's a safe prediction, I'd go to Las Vegas on those odds.
I think what Peter Jackson did is the benchmark.
Yes.
And for those
Michael Pellerin and Peter Jackson. And Costa Botes.
Most of you were maybe not born or too young at the time, but when the movies came out, we had a full almost a year. We had 10 months. 10 months between the theatrical release of Fellowship and then the extended editions came out in October, and then Two Towers came out in December, of course. So basically, we had 10 months apart from watching the movies, each of the Lord of the Rings movies, and then we got the extended editions that included all the behind the scenes. We got no behind the scenes videos for 10 months. The movies stood alone. We got to watch them 1,000 times.
Yes, we did.
We got to buy the theatrical edition DVDs,
building our appetite for the upcoming extended editions.
Well,
right.
But we didn't know what was fully expected with the extended editions, other than extra scenes like a lot of movies do. But the extended editions included the BTS. What I'm saying is, the movies, Peter Jackson's movies, released the extended editions as a marketing tool for the next movie.
Correct.
So my opinion is, Amazon, if you're watching, here's my unbiased opinion. I think you hold on to the making of season 1 until a month before season 2.
You just matched Durin in the chat, who also suggested that. In between seasons, use the material to build up audience excitement and expectation right before the release of the next season.
Right.
Do you want to speculate with me that they'll really go past 5 seasons? I really want to talk about that. Because I want to dig
100%, because
dig into it.
we already know that Amazon, we reported last week that one of the executive producers of Lord of the Rings have just been given an overall deal to create new shows. And the rumors are he's already working on the spin-offs. So we're getting at least 5 seasons on this main Second Age show, plus spin-offs.
Can we identify other shows, and let's look to some friends with us in the live chat, what other major fantasy and science fiction series were supposed to start off with only 5 or less and ended up going a lot longer? I'm sure there are some outstanding examples.
Supernatural.
Yes, that's a very good example.
Walking Dead was originally planned for 5 seasons, and now we're on our 3rd spin-off of Walking Dead.
Yes.
Do you guys like Walking Dead? Because that is a good benchmark.
Again, thank you, Sir Skrillador.
Oh no! This is a setup.
Sir
This
Skrillador.
is a setup to go back to Star Trek.
Yes, it is. It's a setup to start talking about how much we love Sir Patrick Stewart and Star Trek and Captain Jean-Luc Picard. You know what? I want to say, though, it's not always true, because the original Star Trek was canceled instead of getting renewed for more and more seasons.
Stargate SG-1.
Stargate SG-1 is another good example.
And there was a spin-off of that.
That's right, there was. That's right. Yes, thank you. Thank you. See, they love Picard. I love that. See? Stargate, yeah. Emily is right. Hi, Emily.
I
Good
like
to see you.
Stargate. In fact,
You know what?
I recently did a Q&A with Richard Dean Anderson. That was fun. He was late to our Zoom meeting, and then he showed up like 20 minutes late, and it was like, is this thing on? Now what do I do?
He's so awesome. I really do love him.
MacGyver himself.
Yeah, indeed. But was Game of Thrones 8 seasons? But it wasn't originally contracted out to be 8 seasons at the front end of it. Since that might be our most recent contextual example.
I don't know.
I'm not sure, but we'll look it up. But I find this really interesting that if it is successful, and that's not a prediction, I'm just saying.
Here's the thing, Jeff Bezos is rich enough that it doesn't have to be successful. He's got enough money to commit to 5 seasons.
And more?
And more, without it being successful. But
No,
it's on him. If it's on him to make sure that if season 1 doesn't hit, he's got to hire all new people.
The very fact, hold on, whoa, okay. The very fact that he does have that much
Which he already did.
money to throw around, I know.
He
I
moved
know,
production. He
but
fired all of the crew, 100% of the new
I know,
crew.
it's
I
awful.
take that back.
It's awful.
95% of the crew is getting replaced.
What could be worse to disincentivize the producers than just to say, doesn't matter how good or bad it is, Jeff Bezos has more money to make more. I don't want to have that energy around that level of conversation. I want the creatives to feel like they're providing something to this process of adaptation, which is what we're all caught up in ever since the BBC radio. And if you grew up in Russia, there was the Russian TV adaptation. And I grew up here in 1977 with the Rankin and Bass The Hobbit cartoon. And then Ralph Bakshi, these adaptations are all connected because it was Ralph Bakshi's movie coming out in the 70s that spurred Peter Jackson to taking that train ride and reading The Lord of the Rings while he was on that train across New Zealand and got Peter Jackson's very young brain deep into Tolkien. Why did that happen? Because somebody was out there with another adaptation by the name of Ralph Bakshi. So I find it an interesting creative connection of dots that the showrunners right now, Patrick McKay and J.D. Payne and all the talented people working with them, if they do succeed as much as we would like them to, then they will be able to look at their adaptation and see how it spawns the creative minds and invigorates future creatives who might want to take their hand at adapting Tolkien and other stories at another level. It's all connected. It really is. Even musicology. Musicologists will tell you about this, that music theory is all connected backwards through a chain of influence of music. And, these adaptations I'm trying to suggest, very loosely, I'm suggesting this chain of connection is creative and it's kind of generational. And it keeps going and it keeps going. And that's what's most fascinating about it. Win or lose, pass or fail, whether they get a mountain of Emmy Awards or whether they just make a pedestrian fantasy show, we don't know yet. But it is still connected to this ongoing process that I call like popular culture, developing and evolving into itself in a new way. That's really fascinating to me. That's all I got to say right now.
There are people in the chat room saying, I wish there was more Dwarven merch.
Yes, we do. Want more dwarven merch.
Where
yes,
were you during the Hobbit movies, which was turned into a trilogy of dwarves? In fact, there were lawsuits from Harvey Weinstein saying that he deserved money and rights, and Warner Brothers said actually the sequels were not about Bilbo; they're about dwarves and Thorin's story. Literally, we had 3 awesome years of Dwarven merch. Did you miss out on that? There is so much out there.
Yes, Tim, thank you, Tim, for mentioning. Recently in the news, there was some amazing transcripts of the BBC radio adaptation that was shelved and ultimately not produced, and it's got Professor Tolkien's scribble and notes and red marks all over it. That was a really cool story that appeared just a few days ago. And thank you for bringing that up.
I see some other people in the chat are bringing up, I saw Mariana Maldonado's name pop in the chat. Wonderful friend of the show, She was on a couple of our panels for Comic-Con last year.
Yeah.
She's long been a friend of the show, and we were lucky enough when Vanity Fair called and said, "Hey, who is an expert in Tolkien scholarship right now, like a fresh voice?" We recommended Dr. Femi and her understudy, PhD understudy, Mariana Maldonado. So luckily, Vanity Fair put them in the article, and that was wonderful. To be clear, I think there was a little bit of confusion. Mariana is not involved in the show whatsoever. She's just a Tolkien scholar that we helped connect with Vanity Fair. She's not involved with the show at all. Although we all would like to be. You would like to be a Tolkien scholar on one of the spin-offs, I'm sure.
Do you know what? I mean, I would like to be involved and helpful in some way, kind of like when Tobey Maguire is in Cider House Rules, and he just says over and over again, "I would like to be of some use. I would like to be of some use." That's all. So, you know.
Yeah, so I think Vanity Fair updated their article, but yeah, she's not involved. She's just one of us. Literally, they could have talked to Cliff, but there was enough white dudes in that article. We needed we needed some other perspectives, other minds and hands, as Tolkien says.
Yeah.
Cliff, so other big news this week. We got confirmation from our friend Jim J. Ware.
Thank you, Varking. You're the best. Varking, thank you.
You guys remember Jim Ware?
I love Jim J. Ware. And he came to talk with us with Doug Adams.
Yeah, he did all of those soundtrack watch-alongs, which you can watch on YouTube. You can watch the extended edition, 6 movies, with a soundtrack commentary. So Jim Ware gave us a heads up that Cavalry Music are responsible for the music in the trailer.
It was licensed by the studio to be used as the music for the
Not
trailer.
licensed.
It was
original compositions.
Oh, excuse me. Shut my mouth.
Original compositions from Cavalry Music. And check this out. Not only did that dude do the Lord of the Rings Super Bowl teaser, he also did last week's Kenobi trailer.
Gasp. Did someone say
so Cliff,
General Kenobi? Gasp. That was really, so Cavalry Music is like the go-to guy for these studios to come and say, we need a wisp of something for our little 30-second spot. And they would
2 minutes. So
okay, well, in that case, 2 minutes, yes.
What was the most memorable, most talked about part of the Star Wars Kenobi trailer?
The beard.
No.
People were talking about his facial hair a lot.
It was
I don't know.
It was more than that. The number one most talked about, most trended thing with the Kenobi trailer was the needle drop for Duel of the Fates.
Yeah, that needle drop for Duel of the Fates. You're quite correct. Yes. Twitter blew up about that.
My heart blew up.
Yes.
It grew 10 sizes hearing Duel of the Fates, the first time we've heard it since 1999.
Do you know that?
Oh my God.
Do you know what that suggests? It suggests that the material in the live-action Obi-Wan Kenobi show might actually go there, with Darth Maul reappearing again somewhere. Although Dave Filoni covered that storyline in great detail in the animated Clone Wars, but imagine another moment where Maul and Kenobi are face-to-face together again.
So, Cliff...
Hello there.
The composer of the Kenobi trailer.
Hello there.
Used one of the most iconic themes in John Williams' entire deep repertoire to elicit an emotion. Even if Darth Maul is not in the show, he still used Duel of the Fates just as a nod to say, "Hey guys, I know what you like." Yeah, it got us hype. That trailer was meant to get us hyped for Kenobi, and they used Duel of the Fates. The question is, why wasn't the same musician allowed to use Howard Shore, any of Howard Shore's themes?
Good question. That's a good question.
The Lord of the Rings trailer.
And I would speculate that there's maybe some ongoing difficult contract talks going on in the background, and because they're still trying to work out on pen and paper legally getting Howard Shore to come in, maybe that's why they had to pass on getting.
Well, I've got some
something
Green
like that.
Dragon gossip for you there, but
Well, then it's almost time for the gossip.
Oh, it is time for
It's
the
time
gossip.
for the gossip.
So I just want to
Because Scum and Villainy is going to open for business soon.
So I just want to button this up.
Yes.
To be clear, the same guy that composed the Lord of the Rings trailer music composed the Kenobi trailer. And in the Kenobi trailer, they used one of the most iconic themes from old Star Wars from 20 years ago. Well, not old Star Wars, from 20 years ago. Why wasn't the same dude allowed to do the same thing in Lord of the Rings? All we needed was a little needle drop hint of the ring theme.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
And our hearts would have exploded.
And it would have made a big difference to all of us.
It would have made a big difference.
Yes,
and there
it
are
would have.
YouTube videos.
It would have.
There are YouTube videos where people have put Howard Shore's music to the Amazon trailer, and it's stunning. Now, Cliff,
It is stunning.
we are
Quick to Alicia's question.
Yes.
How much is Weta involved in the Amazon Studios show? And we can say, thank you for the question, but
there are two parts to Weta.
but there's the digital Weta that does the digital Balrog and the digital dragon, and then there's the physical department, the workshop that does the weapons and the costume pieces and the bows and arrows and the armor and all that amazing stuff and the sets. But you know what? I think that they are minimally involved. Weta
Workshop
is minimally involved. Weta Digital
is all in.
All in for
They
the
are
Amazon.
They are the
That's
main
right.
effects people.
That's right. Yes. So that's very clear. Thank you for that question. Very good. Okay. What's in the Green Dragon gossip?
The Green Dragon gossip. Speaking of music, so again, this is
Okay.
all rumors. All rumors. We're going to table this, but
Okay.
we hear that Howard Shore and Bear McCreary just cannot get along
What?
professionally.
Oh, no. I
They-
thought this was going to be good news that they signed a deal and everybody was happy.
Pause. Let me finish.
Oh my God.
Let me finish.
Oh my God.
The difficulty is they like each other personally, but the way Bear McCreary works is different. It's so different than how Howard Shore works, that Howard cannot figure out how to get into the pipeline, the production pipeline that Bear is used to working.
Wow. So there's some layers to this.
And it goes further.
We're hearing this as rumor?
We're hearing rumors that when it comes down to it, Amazon is willing to spend whatever it takes to get the London Philharmonic and Howard Shore back in the studio together. And they would rather have Howard Shore than Bear McCreary.
Ooh.
They would rather Howard Shore compose and conduct to an edited episode 8 times, 8 episodes. They would rather pay all the money to do 8 scoring sessions with Howard Shore than try to figure this out because it's not working with Bear.
Do you think it might delay the show's
No,
launch?
it's not going to delay. But
Whoa.
But based on schedules, we're coming up on a deadline, and they either have to figure this out. But at the end of the day, I think Amazon. Well, let me put this to you, Cliff. As a fan, if it came down to Howard Shore or Bear McCreary, one has to go. If they let go of Howard Shore, is the show dead to you?
Yeah, if they let go of Howard Shore because they can't figure it out.
It would be worse than Tom Shippey leaving the show.
That would be devastating, and as someone in the chat said, it would be seismic to lose just on the cusp of having him acknowledge that he might be able to come and be part of the project. Look, if we were told a long, long time ago, categorically, that Howard Shore was never gonna ever do it, period, then it wouldn't feel this way. It wouldn't sting.
We reported last March that he was involved.
Yes, that's right.
We are the 1-year anniversary of our first whispers
of these rumors
of Howard Shore being involved. So that means
we're still in the darkness without confirmation yet, which makes it even more weird.
Right.
Isn't it? We're still in the dark without a real confirmation.
So there's one solution that they're exploring right now, which is everyone knows the iconic Game of Thrones title theme, right?
Sorry.
Yeah. So the theory.
Please do not knock our video for those 4 notes that I just did. Sorry.
One path forward is Howard Shore composes the iconic opening titles theme that carries through the entire series and all its spin-offs.
Oh, so the work would be broken down. Theme, opening theme, Howard's work. And then
everything else.
Bear McCreary, all the episodic stuff within the show.
And here's what I heard. That's what the original talks were. And here's the ultimate Green Dragon gossip. Are you ready for the ultimate? Howard Shore, as soon as he started putting pen to paper, he said, I need to stay here.
What? What are you telling me?
The rumors are that Howard Shore was originally signed to just do the opening title theme, but he was so enamored, and he was just like it was like falling in love again, and he's like, I need to stay in Middle-earth.
So the fires of Gondor have been lit.
Yes.
The fires of Gondor.
And he is trying desperately to work with Bear McCreary, but it's not gelling. And so it has come to a point now where
this is weird. This is weird. This is kind of weird. What you're talking about is making everything seem like we wish that it works out in such a way that it would be nothing but Howard Shore all the time for 5 consecutive seasons or more. You know, I love Bear McCreary's work, but when the video game version of Rings of Power comes out, let Mr. McCreary go ahead and do that. If we could,
I love it. Cutting class in the chat room says it must have been one of those Chewie, we're home moments. Howard Shore putting pen to paper and saying, I want to stay.
I love it.
For Gondor. Well, Cliff, it's great to see you again.
Great to see you. That is quite the bit of gossip. And
that is the Green Dragon gossip. All the news that's not fit to print. It's such gossipy. We're not even going to post it on the website. So we're glad you watched.
I'm really glad you are here to join us, everybody. Oh, you faithful audience here on all the different channels. But this gossip rumor, if it could be true, that Howard is a fire with creativity.
Fire.
If he's
on fire.
If he's lit with creativity, and I mean that, if he is renewing his passion for composing for Middle-earth, then we are only going to be the beneficiaries of that. Even if the show writers and the writers' room haven't captured everything perfectly, that's okay. If we have Howard Shore to kind of help us take the medicine. Okay, it'll be great. It could be really, really awesome. And in fact, it might be something that turns conventional popular opinion entirely. It really could.
That's what I'm saying. Amazon, I know contracts can get tricky, and especially someone at the level of Howard Shore and Bear McCreary. But I'm telling you, Amazon, if you want to do right by everything, if you have to pay Bear McCreary to go away in order to keep Howard Shore, you have all the money in the world.
I agree.
Pay what's needed.
I agree.
Cliff, Torn Tuesday, we are live every week at 5 p.m. Pacific.
Please
Sometimes
join us.
We're here at Scum and Villainy Cantina on Hollywood Boulevard. Sometimes we're in our Discord at discord.gg/The One Ring. Just search for The One Ring on your Discord server. You can find it and join there. Thank you to Varking. Thank you to Kathy. Thank you to everybody for joining us. And thank you, Cliff.
Yes, sir.
It's great to see you and smell you again.
In person. You know what? I'm sure that they call me Scratch and Sniff Cliff for a reason, because I smell so good. You know, it works every time. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to close out the show on that joke, and I'm going to say it is wonderful again to have you all here with us, and thank you for joining us. It is now time to sign off. Again, Torn Tuesday has been here for years and years and years and years, just like the OneRing.net, you know, the great grandfather clock in the room for Tolkien fandom. Come and join us at our website and join us on all of our socials. We've got a lot of conversation to have and a lot of fun and speculation on our journey as we get closer to September and the launch of the Rings of Power. And now I say thank you to the hardworking staff at Scum and Villainy. They're going to open their doors. Come and have a galactic cocktail. In the meantime, we'll see you all next Tuesday right here, Torn Tuesday at 5 p.m. Pacific time. And I love to say at the end of every show, good night and good luck, or better yet, buenos noches y buena suerte. Bye, everybody.
So Patrick Stewart for a king that
Yes,
gets corrupted?
Patrick Stewart in the show in season 5.
As a king that turns into a...
As an evil king, yes.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I think it's brilliant. Brilliant.
Chris, are you back there?
Well done. Thank you, Chris, for everything.